afternoon, Trailblazers. Welcome to our first edition in the fall of Jewett's Flipped Faculty Meeting. As always, we like to start with learning intentions because that's just best practice. Our learning intention for today is that we're going to be reviewing and learning updated information about events, initiatives, and deadlines at Jewett. How will you know you've been successful? Your success criteria are that you will be able to identify and participate in current events at Jewett. You will also have complete and accurate report cards, which is going to be awesome. And our students will be learning more about compassion and empathy, and they will be able to contribute to the LCPS Kindness Month, which is also awesome. All right, let's dive right in. So here are just a few reminders, COVID cues for you. Please continue physical distancing and sanitation. You guys are doing such a good job with this. If you could try to get more space in between them during lunch so that they're not considered a close contact or eat less than 14 minutes. I know some of that is not always possible, but if you do have a fast eating group and room to spread out, that would be great. If you are very tight and in there like sardines, fourth grade, I'm looking at you. We understand. We know you're doing the best you can. Just make sure they're distanced everywhere they go, please. Hand washing and mask breaks. You guys are doing a wonderful job of this. And when you don't have access to water and soap, hand sanitizer is also a great substitute. And then we just wanted to remind you that as more students need to quarantine, please make sure you're reaching out to their parents and that you're preparing work, because Mrs. Scrubs, Mrs. Lane, and Mrs. Adams are all manning a document that tells when they leave, when they come back, when their work is picked up. So we really have a lot of data to make sure our kids are supported during their quarantine time. All right, Julie.
So just a couple reminders. This is things that we've all talked to you about. Instructional assistant schedules and supports are changing starting on Tuesday, October 12th. Instructional assistants should have gotten their new schedules. Ms. Beta are happy to answer any questions tomorrow, or if you think of something over the weekend or something, you guys have our numbers. Definitely feel free to reach out prior to that start date. I schedule realignment, just to remind you that we always are using that progress monitoring data to help us make the best decisions for our kids, and to also make sure that, our staff is all supported and working together. So that's just to kind of what have driven some of these marking period 2 shifts. Another big reminder is just that physical education is going to be hopping back onto the resource rotation, and it is going to be taking the place of where guidance was on the current schedule. And all of that will be updated on the master schedule document. Guidance will now be held during your grade levels recess.
Right. And just to reiterate and add on to what Mrs. Bryant shared, we have a couple of dogs in the race that we really want to make sure cross the finish line, to continue with my metaphor. We want to protect 90 minutes of planning for our teachers because we know you need it, and it's important for us. We also want to support our instructional assistants and make sure that their placements are as comfortable and a perfect match for them as far as things they enjoy and can complete happily. And we also want to make sure we try not to disrupt them with their kids too much, because they've created relationships with them. So we definitely, it's a lot like a circus act. We're on a high wire, we're juggling, and we're jumping through a flaming hoop to try to make these things happen. So we appreciate your flexibility, but also remember that we try to see everything, but we might have missed something. So if you want to bring something to our attention, please let us know, because we don't want these changes to hurt any adults or children. We're just trying to follow the data and make sure we're servicing our students the best we can. All right, so Jewett's PTA is still rocking and rolling. It is not too late to join the PTA. They do so much for us. It's only $5. And honestly, I think they only get $2 of that. The rest go to national dues. So every piece of money that they make, they generate through fundraising and all of their other things they do to support Jewett. So the fundraiser was extended. It ends on October 14th. So if you want to purchase some awesome wrapping paper from one of your kids, I would do it because it's awesome. Candy donations are already starting to pour in for the Jack-o'-lantern Jamboree. That's on October 22nd. Please make sure you are reading the Tackling Today and signing up. We would love to have you. It's going to be a great event. It's going to feel like normal. And let's face it, we all need a little bit of that. All right, Mrs. Bryant.
All right, so report cards. So report card checklists are being sent out with tomorrow's tackling today. There will be a K2 checklist and there will be a 3-5 checklist. Please take the time to review these. I know they may be in a similar format to what they typically look like, but just know that every marking period and at every interval, there are slight changes and shifts. My two big reminders are that kindergarten through second grade, you're going to get that color-coded guide where it shows you by marking period which skills should have scores in them. And then Ms. Harlow and Ms. Burchell have provided you guys a lot of guidance on indicators you can use for marking those. The other question that I've already gotten a little bit, so I just wanted to say, is that marking period 1 grades will replace your previously entered interim score. So if a student had a 2 and now you want to change that to a 3, when you open your grade book, that 2 is still going to be there. You're just going to change it to a 3. These report cards for K2 will not reflect interim marking periods. It only reflect marking periods. It won't show the interim and the marking period. And then grades 3 through 5, the biggest thing that we kind of ran into at interims, please double check that your grade book has been set up to account for summative assessments being 40% and daily work being 60% of your children's grades. And that's all I had on report cards. Look for those checklists tomorrow.
Awesome. I also think one of the biggest things we run into is people forgetting to put interventions in. Make sure you put either a yes or a no. And then if it's a yes, make sure you specify what the intervention is. And, use those comment sections as much as you can. I always loved having documentation, even if it's just something positive like Rory is working really hard or Corey's a great direction follower, anything you can do to just communicate, because a lot of our parents, this is a very separate world for them and they don't know education the way we do and inside and out. So as much as you can share, the better. All right, discipline. So we just kind of wanted to talk to you. We are monitoring our referral data and our timeout data very closely. We just want to remind you that discipline, our number one priority is to support you. So our purpose with discipline is to make sure you're supported inside the classroom, inside the hallways, outside the school, everywhere. Please discuss as a grade level to make sure you understand your grade level's discipline policy. When do you write timeouts? When do you write a referral? And we are happy to sit down with you and talk with you if you're not sure when to do which. Some things are very obvious, like hitting and kicking and cursing, gambling and bullying, things like that. But it could be something where, like, for instance, I had a little girl who tried to cut someone's hair this week, and we went to a referral because she's been given multiple warnings and she was dishonest about it. So we're always happy to collaborate with you on discipline. And again, our goal is to be consistent and fair. So anything we can do to support you, just let us know. All right, so there's a couple of things we're asking you to complete. Your schedule for conferences. You have 2 weeks. I'm going to go ahead and cancel the professional development meeting on Thursday. And then I'm going to talk with my leadership team and talk about rescheduling the PLC meeting. We recognize that this is a very stressful time for you. And we want to take as much off your plate as we can to support you. So I will be taking things off and on the calendar in order to help you. So just make sure you're looking at the DoIT calendar. So there's something we want to share with you. It's called the Blazer Memometer. It's basically a baseline check-in. And it's going to, when you click on this link, it's going to take you to a survey. It's real quick. You can look at the memes and choose, but this is feedback that we really want to get from you, like how you're doing. We're going to take this feedback and we are going to look at the data and we're going to talk about this data with you during Bites with Bosses. So we need you to fill that out by October 20th. I'll be putting reminders in because this helps us to help you. You all do a lot during the day. We don't walk everyone's path with fidelity. So we don't know the ins and outs of the things that are going well or that are horrible. But this gives us a starting point, and then we can start having conversations. Make sure that if you have met with your correlates, that you are all caught up and ready for the next meeting, making sure all those tests are complete. And then teachers' classroom Bs are going to be held on by October 29th or on October 29th. More information is will be coming from our B Masters. That would be Ms. Leifer and Mrs. Leal. Thank you so much. All right, so this is a preliminary Bites with Bosses schedule. We put these on the calendar. I just kind of wanted to get your eyes on it before I solidify them and send the Google invites out. We are starting with instructional assistants, going through all of the classroom teachers on that Friday, October 22nd. And then on the 25th, we're going to be meeting with all of our support staff and our specialists and all of the people and pre-K and ECSC. Your time is a little bit wonky, so I wanted you to check on that. See if that even works for you all. And then I will adjust the schedule as needed. We just want to make sure we're sitting down with everyone and taking a moment to listen to one another and figure out the best way we can make the second 9 weeks awesome for you all. All right, we're going to do a little bit of self-care bingo. So this is on Monday. Now, I cannot explain to you how important this is. I know it sounds super like hippy dippy, tree hugger, granola and crunchy, all that weird stuff that my mom totally is, but making sure that you're taking care of yourself is very important. Everyone is under a huge amount of stress and everyone goes through it differently. Some people kind of like run like the road runner and then they peter out. Some people withdraw or get introverted. Some people get angry and mean. I mean, when I'm hangry, I get mean. So it really just depends on how you handle stress. So this self-care bingo is one way that you can make yourself a priority. Okay, so remember last year, the same rules apply. If you get a bingo, you turn your card in, all cards by November 5th. If you enter the drawing for a bingo, you could win a $10 gift card. If you get a blackout, you do all of the spaces, you're entered for a $50 gift card. I'm looking at doing Target this year. Hopefully that's acceptable for you all. So remember to love yourself. It sounds super kumbaya, but it's true. You need to. And while we're talking about self-care, I just want to talk about the calendar. So we have some resting days coming up. Okay. I just want to draw your attention to October. October and November are looking up, my friends. Okay. So next week we have a 4-day work week with students. The following week, we have another 4-day work week with students. We have 1 full week, and then we are going to be having some time off the first week of November. Might have a little surprise for you that week, so don't make plans. Then we have another full week. Then we have the 15th through the 19th, another asynchronous day. So that's another 4-day week. And then we're at Thanksgiving break. Holla, 3 days off, my friends, in your jams with your loved ones, eating a bunch of carbohydrates and Lord knows what else, just living your best life. So we've got a lot of good times coming. And then after that, after Thanksgiving, we've got 3 weeks and then we've got 2 weeks off. So we've got some cushioned breaks in there. I want you to go ahead and just take a look at the calendar because the calendar is on our side. All right.
I got 2 minutes, Miss Spade.
Good. I just want to remind you about Kindness Month. They're already on our calendar. Just please encourage your kids to participate. This is a great way to model and teach empathy and compassion. And Lord knows we need all we can get in this world. All right, upcoming events. Wear your one-word shirt tomorrow. Woo-hoo! Teacher workday on Monday. Don't forget our pink out and our report cards are the following Friday. Thank you, Miss Lewis Williams, for recommending that we do orange on Unity Day. We are going to celebrate that. That is a typo on the 19th. I'll fix it on the presentation because it's actually on the 20th. And then an asynchronous day. We also have PLCs coming up, which I'm looking at rescheduling. And the Jack-O-Lantern Jamboree, that's going to be fun. And another Kindness Day, which is going to be awesome. And don't forget, book character dress up day. All right, so here's the quote that we're going to finish up with. Little deeds are like seeds. They grow to flowers or weeds. So make sure you're planting all positive seeds within yourself. Fill your cup up first, because if you don't fill yours up, you can't help anybody else. And I am really bad at that. So I'm going to work on that myself. And then lastly, Julie and I just like to thank you. Thank you for showing up every day, working hard and leaving it all on the field and going home every day and then waking up the next morning and doing it all over again. Every ounce you pour into these kids, we are so grateful for. So thank you so much. And we hope you have a wonderful evening.